Well, 2020, the reality about reality.
Cause every day I'm getting closer. Just look at everything I'll show ya. And now I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah.
That's gonna be my podcast today. My little vlog, call it, I guess. Things have been interesting. 2020 has just been a year of all kinds of craziness. It's been good, it's been bad, it's been rough, it's been tough. So, I have a lot to talk about on life. Things that aren't about the show. I really want to get out of that and create my new thing and my brand. I have some cool stuff coming up. About to get back to being creative. During this whole COVID thing, I would wake up, I would walk 3 miles, listen to a podcast, and it was important. I think everybody should take time out of their day to go walk, or go learn or grow or get better at whatever it is you want to get better at, which is something that I had to do, especially during the time period that it was all going on. I was going through a lot of struggles at the time. So for me, getting up, walking, making sure my headspace is correct and right and positive was the most important thing that I could ever do in my life. You can have all the physical and everything else, but if you don't have this right, it just ain't gonna work. So I had to get healthy, I had to get right, start eating better, walking, working out. I really didn't pick up a camera that much. With all the work stopped and all that stuff, I did have time to be creative, but I lost a lot of my creativity. And a lot of that had to do with what was going on in my life. From social medias to, real life things are two different things. And people have to understand, people that are in reality or reality TV stars or whatever it might be, we're normal people at the end of the day. And we have normal feelings just like everyone else. So going through the whole process from what I expected, was gonna happen on this show is I didn't really know much about the show. My friend told me about the show, and he's from the UK, and he's like, dude, you need to do this, it's a cool opportunity. And then I really didn't research like I should have, to be honest. But, going through the show process, they called me, they sent me a message on Instagram, and then they called me and they're like, hey, we want to Skype you. And then the next day they're flying you out to finals. So it's a really fast process, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into? But I got into it, and the whole thing about all that is, you gotta take a leap, you gotta jump sometimes, you just gotta do it. And I am the kind of person where I'd rather fail at something than say I never tried or say I never did it. I think that's what's the most important thing about myself is my work ethic and not being scared to fail or what people think. And that kind of reverses later on, I'll get to that. But anyway, so I go on the show, I go to finals, and I got casted for the show. So it's interesting, how the whole show process works, and you have reality of what you think, is gonna happen when you get off the show, during the show, all kinds of things. So you walk in and I'm you don't know what to expect. There's camera people everywhere, they're asking you all these funny questions and you're trying to answer them. And the most important thing I could say during the casting process was be yourself. Don't pretend to be cool, don't pretend to be this person or that person. They don't like you, screw them. That's part of reality TV, is they want a character that's themselves and not afraid of anything. So that's who I was. I walked in with my cowboy shit on, and everything else from there was there. So I go through the process. We meet at the airport, and it's kind of funny because you see, I saw Zach, right? Zach's 6'4", big guy. I saw Zach, I saw, who else did I see? I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, it's funny because you see these people at the airport, whatever, and you're like, okay, that guy's for sure getting casted, you know what I mean? So you go through that whole process, and then we get there, we're stuck in isolation, and everybody's like, oh, quarantine sucks. I'm like, yeah, imagine quarantine with no Netflix. Being stuck in Fiji, you only allowed to go outside one time a day. It's not as awesome as it sounds, at all. It was miserable. Being stuck in a room for a week and a half, you don't have a phone, you get to go to the gym for 30 minutes, you get to eat for 15 minutes, then you're sitting stuck in a hotel room. So, not fun. You know, and then you go through the whole process, you're like scared, you're nervous the whole time, you don't know what to expect, and then you get on the show, and I remember walking up and being like, oh, here we go, let's saddle up, it's time. So I remember walking up and being like, I have no flipping clue what I'm doing. I have not watched any of the episodes, I have no clue what's going on. So I walk up and I'm like, okay, there's already 3 guys that pick girls and I have 2 options, like whatever, here we go. And so I'm like, I don't know, so I just pick one, right? So it's so embarrassing. My hair, they were like, wear your cowboy hat, wear your cowboy hat. So I didn't really do my hair, and I don't have much hair anyway, if you can see. So they're like, right before I go on down to the beach, take your hat off. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, it's windy down there. So I get down there and my hair is just like Donald Trump toupee, like flopping over. They had to cut the scene because my hair looked bad, like super embarrassing. I talked to Zach, they're like, they thought I was like a 35-year-old man with family. So kind of funny. Yeah, and then you're just like on the show, you don't know what to think. And coming onto the show, you're like, okay, these are the 2 options people can have in their head. 1, this can help my business, this can help my platform. 2, I can actually find someone. I was there for the right reason of trying to find someone. So like my lifestyle is kind of crazy being a photographer, and I'm always moving, I'm always going somewhere. I don't really have a normal hour job. So it'd be really cool for me to find a girl that kind of has something similar that we could travel with, take photos, create content together. And I feel like I had a really high chance of finding that on a TV show more than finding that in Dallas where I have dated and it's not working. So yeah, and then also, and like, yeah, there's perks of it, you know, I can have brands and I can have all these things that people expect you to have, and like my whole life's gonna change, and you know, blah, 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 blah. It's gonna help my platform. Well, fast forward, did the absolute opposite. When I got off the show, literally, I didn't get work for 2 months because people thought I was so busy, or I don't have time to shoot content. So I literally, it actually made it backwards, where I was like, okay, I don't have any work. So now I have to rebrand all of my stuff. And at that point in time, Emily had moved in basically, and we did our relationship, trying to balance my relationship, my work, myself. And you have to understand, you go through this massive wave. So like you're like, oh my God, I gotta crush content, I gotta do this, I gotta hit brand deals, I gotta reach out to this, and you really don't know how to do it. So when you get to that point of just exhaustion, this wave goes, and then you just crash, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is the reality of reality is people think you're like way, way up high. And actually, between myself, I was so low, it wasn't funny. I went through a serious depression from reality TV because of, you know, 1, you have hate crime, you have hate emails, hate DMs, people say so much shit behind camera, like it's so messed up. The stuff that I've had to like receive and hear and all these different things. Plus like having a relationship through your Instagram was a absolute disaster, because you are only known for a specific relationship. Like I have a friend that's from The Bachelor, and he's like, dude, people just love me for me. And I'm like, people don't love me for me, they love me for my relationship. So when your relationship doesn't work, now you have to balance everybody DMing you saying she's doing this, or vice versa, I'm doing that, and it just becomes this huge toxicity of bullshit, and it's not fun. You know, we're normal humans. Imagine dating someone and it not working out, and you have 100 DMs in your message box going, oh, I heard so-and-so's doing this, or yeah, y'all broke up, or just like, they don't care about your feelings, they don't give a shit about you, they care about your relationship. So it's really difficult to go through a breakup, plus never ever ending people just in your shit, ever. That's exhausting. So the reality is, I went through a major depression through all of this, and I would not recommend reality TV for anyone. without the expectation of knowing what the possibility is. You think you're going to be loved and you think you're going to do all these things, and yeah, I have a ton of love and I'm thankful for all that, but there's also a lot of fucked up shit that I've also had to deal with that isn't worth it. It's really not. And I didn't get brand deals. Like, women make a lot of money on Instagram. Guys, we don't make anything, because why? Guys don't go on Instagram and buy stuff. We're like, screw it, I'll go drive and buy it myself, or I'll get on Amazon. Like, we don't buy products from Instagram like girls do with their, you know, fashion, to their hair, to their makeup, to their outfits, to their swimsuits, their shoes. That's their life. We don't live like that. So, one, thought I was gonna make money. Two, thought my whole life was gonna change and I didn't have to worry about much and blah, blah, blah. Ended up having to do the completely opposite. Had to regrow my entire brain and basically build myself out of depression. And I also had to rebrand my whole business in order to make money. And when you have money and depression issues, it's really hard to stay positive, especially when COVID's going on and you don't have work and you're stuck in your room by yourself. It does not help. So the best thing I can say is just like, understand that you have to keep this mind right before you can do anything else. It doesn't matter how much work you have going on. If this isn't right, your work's not gonna be right. So yeah, that's the reality of reality, is people don't understand what you go through for people's entertainment. Like, the show, I definitely did things good and wrong on other people's point of views, but at the end of the day, I went with what I felt, and that's all that matters. And if I don't pick this specific person because you don't think that's right, why is that your opinion? It's not your life, it's not your relationship. So, you know, people are just super mean, super messed up, and I wouldn't recommend reality to anyone, honestly, like, unless you know what you're getting into. So people are like, oh my God, I want to go on the show. I'm like, I'm gonna give you two sides of things, because there's always two sides of everything. And this is my point of view. It's funny that people love drama for someone to go through a depression later. And I know a lot of people, and this isn't just coming from me, like, I know a lot of people that went through the very same process I did, where they got, you know, depressed, or they had to fulfill all these expectations of everybody else. And that gets exhausting, because then you're not living for yourself, you're living for your Instagram following. And I'm cool in real life, and I see that meme all the time. I'm like, that's why I wanted to make this video, so people could actually see the personality side of things instead of a photo, because a photo you can post and it's like, okay, cool. This guy could be a douchebag, he could be whatever, but a video actually lets you explain the character. You know, I'm not a person to judge someone based on a picture or them walking down the street. I judge them on their character of how they address themselves. So, you know, I wish people would do the same, because, you know, assuming doesn't get you anywhere. Assume makes an ass out of you and me. So quit assuming, people. And I also, like, I need to share too, like, I've had such positive things as well as the negative side of things. You know, the reality of reality is you go through both. You understand there's highs and lows, just like life, and you have to understand how to balance those, and have to, like, make sure your mind's right to be able to do those things. You know, the positives are definitely just as high as the lows. And I've had a lot of awesome people reach out to me. I've met a lot of awesome people, my best friends now. Like, the show has taught me so much in life, and you have to go through those struggles in order to get to the high ones. And I'm still going through a lot of those, you know, dealing with a relationship that, you know, you meet someone in another place and you meet them the day you meet, you're with them. Like, it's insane. It's literally insane how people can take that amount of time, and you do fall in love with people in that amount of time when you're with them every single hour of the day, to expect all these things after the show, you know, and then you have to deal with people and social media and this thing and that thing, and it's exhausting. So, you know, it's now at this point, I just want to, like, brand myself of who I am, and that's why I'm making this video, so that I can branch away from Love Island. And that's, you know, and that's the next topic. So I want to get into me being creative and like inspiring people. I have this really cool t-shirt brand I'm coming out with, but I'm going to be selling presets. I'm going to be doing a lot of other things. It's going to break me off of that, and I'm actually really trying to move to Bali within the year and just drink coconuts every day and go surf and shoot content. So it should be interesting. I'm gonna hop back on this in a little bit in different places and kind of show you some drone stuff and just kind of what I'm gonna do today. So y'all just have fun. Hope you appreciate and listen and understand that reality is not always here. It's a lot of times here, all over the place. It's a roller coaster. So I hope everybody takes this and doesn't take this as a negative thing. I don't want people to think that I like hate my fans, anything like that. I just have to separate things that have been kind of toxic in my life, and some of the social media has been toxic, which is why I stayed away and not done certain things and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm at a point now where I can handle all those situations. So yeah, so stay tuned. I'm gonna do some cool shit today. And yeah. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's. I don't know if y'all watch Zach. Shout out. Yep, I don't know if y'all watch this vlog, but I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's and get my snacks. I don't know if y'all watched that, but I crashed my drone. I'll show footage of that. I'm also really excited for my trip. Shout out to the boys. Some of my best friends, we're gonna go to Tulum for my birthday. We're in a super dope spot, our own house, cool pool, not too far from the beach. Gonna go do some hiking, not hiking, some like cave hunting. Go to the beach, relax, shoot a bunch of content, shoot a bunch of vlog style videos. I'm gonna jump off the roof into the pool probably. Get some cool content. Well, I am headed to Trader Joe's. I did two things. I went to Trader Joe's. I also went to Salada. I got my favorite thing, but guess what else is my favorite thing? Is these glasses. You know why? Because July 4th is almost here. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I wear America every day of July. My birthday is also in July, which we're taking a boys trip to Tulum, which I kind of mentioned, but these glasses will get worn most of the time because they're freaking sweet and they're America. So yeah, so anyway, I am going to pull out some snacks and maybe eat my salad. What oh my Lanza, rolled corn tortilla chips, chili and lime flavored. Trader Joe's, baby. That's my favorite thing besides this. This water has crack in it because, man, I don't drink any other water besides this, really, to be honest. It's absolutely fantastic. Those are my Trader Joe's go-tos. I would have some other other snacks, but I'm sick of being a fatty, so my rule is I eat like a little bit of these and throw them down. But after I get done with Tulum, I'll go back and show you all the ice cream sandwiches because they're the best things you'll ever eat in your entire life. Boom! Salada. Shout out. Maybe they'll sponsor me, I really doubt it, but it would be cool because I've been eating a salad here like every day. My goals. My goal is to brand my own t-shirt line, which I have been doing. I've been on Alibaba. A really cool idea that I'm doing. It's also going to create a podcast and all of this, which I will have a video coming out, teaser, to explain this whole concept. Very cool thing. That's one of my goals. My other goal is to stay positive, be positive, stay fit. That's been like my main thing right now, is just learning to do shit you don't want to do. I don't want to wake up and run 3 miles every day. I don't want to walk 3 miles. I don't want to do this. But you start doing those things, and then it becomes a habit, and it's the simple things that make you successful. So like if you make your bed, which I don't do, which I need to do, but it's things like that. It's like, okay, I need to write an invoice today. I don't feel like it. But those are the kind of things that make you succeed later on, because you keep doing these simplistic things. My other goal is to create content. I want to start branching out, shooting more like fun action, like snowboarding, wakeboarding, dirt bikes, motocross, all that stuff I really want to get into, as well as teaching kind of how to use a camera. And then, boom, my big goal, I want to move to Bali by the end of the year. I want to save enough money and, you know, just go out there and live and see what happens. You know, there's a lot of people that come there for influencing that I could take video of. Hopefully I could do villas, you know, but even if I don't, I'm young, I'm going to have to be like, hey, I'm moving to Bali with $20,000, who knows what I can save up, and wake up, build an online business, work a few hours of the day, drink a coconut, go surf, you know. That's my goal. So that's kind of where I'm at. And like in here, it's always just been everywhere. I've just always thought outside the box. And speaking of boxes, I'm going to make a video. I think this is extremely important for everyone. Here's my box. It's got my name on it. I don't know how many people told me that I could never lift this or look like this or be able to make money with a camera, or all these things that other people's expectations of my own put in a box and leave them in there and leave the box, because I'm telling you now, if you don't, you're never going to succeed at what you really want to do. Everybody's going to have something to say. Everybody's going to tell you you can never do this, you know. And I picture this in my head is like Post Malone. Not one person in the entire world in high school, middle school, that knew Post Malone would have been like, that guy's going to sell so many platinum records or whatever he's selling. No one in the world. Everybody kept him in a box, and he goes, screw the box. I'm not going to let myself adapt to what everybody else wants me to do or thinks I should be. And I really want to address that with my own self, is like, so many people have told me this and told me that. Like my hometown, everybody, when I picked up a camera, was like, what is this guy doing with a camera? What does he think he's a photographer? Like, that's stupid. Now they're asking me to book their family photo shoots or film this for their business. And it's like, those aren't the kind of people that I want in my life to support. I want people that want to support me throughout the whole process. And so like, if your friends have businesses, or if their friends are pursuing something, support them. Don't literally go, ah man, I need a deal, I need a hookup. Screw that. Support your friends. Give them the actual money that they need to help grow their business, or help them, or like help them. I don't understand why people think like, I'm good, I want a discount because we're buddies. Like, no, you really don't. You need to support that friend. My own opinion. Everybody's got a different one, but well, going to the roof to tan. I don't feel like going to the pool right now. Not a fan of this pool, but I'm gonna do the roof and maybe shoot some content in my chubbies. So hopefully the door's still open.
Yeah, let's go. I'ma make a couple stacks, do exactly what I want to. Mix a couple tracks, get a lady that I'm drawn to. Turn up to the max, get me faded till I'm gone, dude. I do what I want, couldn't stop me if you wanted to. I just work hard, yeah, harder than the rest. Some people say I'm lucky, others saying that I'm blessed. But I keep my head down, cause I crave progress. You ain't never gonna stop me, cause it's my conquest. And I'm never gonna rest, yeah. And
say what's up, dude.
What's up?
Golly, is he so handsome or what? It's our daily 6 o'clock FaceTime. But Zach, you got anything to say for the vlog?
I just hope everybody's staying safe out there, and I hope everybody is doing well.
So I told Zach a little bit about the reality of reality. Should we ask Zach what he thinks about it? We're asking him. Zach, what do you think about reality TV?
Reality TV it's just way more complex than people understand. And even us as humans, we like, you think you understand it to a degree, but there's just so much that goes in it. And there's like a beginning, middle, and end. And there's just a lot that comes with it, for sure.
Nailed it. So Zach's in Atlanta right now. He's going to be a famous actor in a couple weeks. He's going to be on the next movie of 365. He's going to be the next character for it. But, yep, Zach's my best friend from the show. We keep up very regular and wouldn't trade it for the world. So Zach's a good dude. Go follow him. Go watch his vlogs. Zach, I also talk about you, and I went to Trader Joe's, and I talk about my favorite snacks.
Good job.
Done.